Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, men and women. It is I, Geeter-Burns, and once again, we want to welcome you to our channel, as well as our Retro Bowl tutorial / Detroit Lions Retro Bowl saga, where in this video series, we're going to show you how to play Retro Bowl, have some great conversation, in addition to giving the Detroit football franchise their first world championship since 1957. So, as we said in our last video, we clinched the division for the first time since 1991, and with the win today against the Chicago Bears at Ford Field, we will clinch home field advantage for the first time in franchise history and break the franchise record for most wins in a season. And we tied our franchise record for 12 wins, which was set in 1991. Now we'll go back to the traditional home garb, which is an easy switcheroo. So C8C, CCD. And then we'll go back to the Honolulu blue and silver end zone. 1762FO. Before the series is over and done with, I'll show you the significance of these color codes. You may already be familiar with it, but I'll show you how I came up with my own way of matching the colors to the best of my ability. Now, with a naked eye, you may not care one way or the other, but for me, I find a lot of fun in doing it, and it also helps me pass the time. So the Bears should already be set, and they are. I like to leave the socks all white for the road because it closely resembles our socks to the best of our ability in this game. And I already said it on hard, so we'll go ahead and get this road on the show. So I believe we're already at 100% for the fan base. We are at 100% for the fan base now. First time ever, 100% fan rating. So we have which means we have a sellout crowd, and the team is fully invested. Because we're getting close to the playoffs, I really don't want to risk any injury, so I'm going to increase the rehab facilities to prevent injuries, and to keep guys from getting tired, because I don't want them tired on the hard and dynamic levels when we reach the playoffs. So because our tight end's back, we have a 3-star offense again, and the Bears defense is still decent. Let's see what we do, how we do against them. So they planted the ball, so we'll go and get started with try to go deep down the field. And off to a great start. So you always want to get off to a great start. All right. Now going back to New England, as I mentioned before, just a quick synopsis. So I'm going to rotate through all the teams, and my goal is to have everybody beat Pittsburgh and New England's Super Bowl record of 6. So I'll keep a franchise until they win 6 Super Bowls or 7 Super Bowls, depending if Pittsburgh and New England does not win any Retro Bowls in my game, then I'll stay at 7. If they win some, I'll keep winning Retro Bowls till I have the most Retro Bowls. That way, it'll allow me to cycle through all the teams and to build up my franchise. Now, so far, the Arizona franchise is the only franchise I have so far where I've won a Retro Bowl in every season that I played, except for the first season. Because remember, when you start Retro Bowl, you only get to play the last game of the season, and your team is going to miss the playoffs anyway. So that's kind of like I'm being an interim coach. I really don't count that game anyway. But So as you can see with that Arizona receiver, remember when I talked about the tight end that somebody on Retro Bowl did on Twitter? They got them 200 catches for 3,000 yards, 2,000 yards. I had one guy who did 300 catches for 4,800 yards almost. Because as you can see, when you start with a new team, you're only going to have a few star players, and until you get your defense coordinator up to a 5, it's very hard for me to trust the other receivers that are not star receivers. So I go with what I know. Now, I used Alliance when I first started, of course. And at that time, you were only able to have one team at a time. But there's been so many upgrades. So what I did was I bought, and I mentioned this before, I bought coaching credits so I could build my team up fast. So I want to start from scratch, and I'm doing that with this team. So after we finish the season, I'm going to keep the Lions, and I may come back and do a few highlights here and there just to show you their progress and how they've been doing, and definitely showing you the portions of the farewell season. Once I get to a certain number of Retro Bowls, but I want to start from scratch, which is what I'm doing with this one. So that way I can draft people on my own and not just buy free agents just because I have a whole bunch of coaching credits that I bought. If you want to buy coaching credits, have at it. It's up to you. It's your friend. It's your game. But some people say, "Hey, I want to go all out now." So that's the reason why I've set for 7 Retro Bowls to beat Pittsburgh and New England. Now, surprisingly, the Bears' defense is not playing as tough as I thought they would. So I'm playing them on hard, and they're a 4-star defense, which I'm surprised. Then we have the blue end zone back. Now, the one thing I'm proud about the Lions with this season is that I think for the first time in franchise history, they did not play back-to-back home games at all. And to add insult to injury, they're going to play back-to-back road games. So for the first few weeks, they alternated between home and road for like the first 12 weeks or so, approximately. They still held their own. Outside of getting slaughtered at the Superdome, because I had no running game whatsoever, the Lions held their own. Now, a new rule I'm going to incorporate is if I'm playing a team that has at least 4 stars on offense and defense, I'm going to play it on harder dynamic to challenge myself to make it a marquee game. Oh, wow, I forgot it was 3rd down. It's okay, I'm talking to you guys. I'm going to convert it anyway. Boom, there we go. If you believe, then you can achieve. So Lions keep the ball. Let's put some more points on the board. And then let's punch it in again. So we're going to throw the ball on 3rd down. Let's see who's open. Nobody yet. That's going to be short. Let's see how our field goal kicker does. Kick is up, and it is 58 yards. Season high. So this game is pretty much in the books, barring anything catastrophic. be careful with your quarterback, because while players don't leave the game on an injury during the game, you don't want to give the computer an opportunity to have your player injured for like 5 or 6 games, despite barely getting brushed. I remember one game, my running back only got hit once in the whole game because I ran out of bounds with him a lot, and he missed 7 games. The only time he got hit was he got hit right when he scored a touchdown, and he missed 7 games. People were pissed and complaining left and right. People get injured too easily. Yeah, that wasn't. So we need a guy with a bigger foot apparently, but that's okay. Gonna punch this one in. And that's that. So with that win, we break a franchise record for most wins in the season. We beat the previous record of 12-4 in 1991, where the Lions won their final 6 games of the regular season. We clinched a bye week for the first time since 1991, where we were the number 2 seed and skipped the wild card round. And because of our win, because we won, and Arizona can only win 12 games, up to 12 games, and New Orleans can only win up to 12 games, we have clinched home field advantage for the first time in franchise history. So that means that the Retro Bowl playoffs have to go through Ford Field. So our fan base is already at max, so we'll praise the player to build himself up. Now I see you guys are really tired. That's something I'm concerned about. What we're going to do on purpose is to rest. No, I'm not going to rest the players because I want them to build their stats. So we'll see what happens. We'll do the best that we can. But I think my focus is to build up the rehab facilities to get the guys in better shape. Now, as you can see, Tavon Hoyer will retire at the end of the season. He is not tagged for the Player Hall of Fame. He only played 1 season for me, so I'm not going to put him in the Hall of Fame. And then Shalom Gillen is also going to retire. He hasn't done enough for our team to put him in the Hall of Fame. Now, this isn't the NFL Hall of Fame. This is like for your individual players, for your team. And then it just lets you know that your office coordinator's contract expires and defensive coordinator's contract is going to expire at the end of the year. You have the opportunity to extend them. I'm not pressing to do it because you're only 1-star or 2-star. So let's check the front office. I'm going to increase the rehab facility some more, and the conditioning went up a little bit. So I'm going to do the best I can to get their facilities up so in the playoffs we don't get tired. So as you can see, we're winding down. We have 1 more road game and 1 more home game. So on the next episode, we're going to see what we do against Cincinnati on the road. Talk about them a little bit, see what direction the Cincinnati Bengals franchise is going in. And please hit like and subscribe. And we want to thank you so much again for enjoying Retro Bowl with us. And you all take care.